friend, I was kind of vibing, like, whoop, whoop. Hey. Welcome to Grit Glam. I was feeling that though. I was like,
got caught off guard.
Yes, you know I'm from Detroit, so house music was a thing, baby.
A little beat,
honey. Like,
you need a good beat. In any event, welcome to Grit and Glam, Keys to the Queendom, where we serve unfiltered real estate tea, bold business gems, and grown woman energy, straight from the heart of DMV. I'm Helaine Reaves, bringing you the grit to the glam. Nope, the grit of the glam. Nope. But I do have the grip with the flips, the DIY finesse, and the residential realness. Lord have mercy. I think I need a Sunday sip.
Do your thing, friend. I am Quintaria Brunson, sometimes known as Madame CEO, and I'm the glam behind all of this, bringing you commercial real estate boss moves, business strategy, and all things classy, sassy, and savvy. And together, we crack open the keys to the queendom, because building wealth, baby, is about living well, and it ain't just a dream. It is our assignment. Ooh. So, yes, honey. Yes. So we're going to kick it off like we always do, because drum roll, we are friends for real. Right? So, Helaine, what was the first time you realized that, well, let me take a step back first just to let people know. Today's episode is about, girl, you better know your numbers. And Helaine and I both have had, some good numbers that we knew, some not so good numbers, and all of that. But we have learned a lot. We're learning a lot, and I'm excited to get into this conversation today. So shifting back into the we are friends for real, what was the first time you realized you didn't know what in the hell was going on with your money?
I mean, I think that I've had that moment multiple times throughout my adult years, right? I think in your 20s, it moves different. You're just getting your first job, or you're stepping into your career and really learning, how much things cost. And then, if you're an entrepreneur, you're constantly chasing those numbers. I'm a numbers girl. I love numbers. I'm not so much of a fan of words, because you can maneuver and manipulate, but numbers are numbers. It's black and white. And I think the biggest kind of wake up for me was when I became a single mom, and at that point I understood, okay, no one's saving you. So while you're running your own business and you're a one parent household and a one income household, you better figure out that budget. We're still, it's a constant, it's a moving target, right? Especially depending on the economy, what's going on with your business. So I've had several touches with debt death, shall we call it? That's a good one.
Thank you, honey. Death. Let me put that's a whole.
That's a good one. Debt death. We got to cover that one, because I've got a colorful past with various instances that I've had to save myself.
Yeah.
What about you?
I've had. It is feast or famine with me and money, and that is why learning about money, how money works, how to grow it, and things of that nature. I think that's why it matters so much to me, and I'm so aware of it now, is because there are too many times in my life that it was all or nothing, but I will say one of the most memorable in not the greatest way, but is when I was in a kept situation. Right. And
tell me more.
Well, friend,
I know the story. I know.
We are friends for real, right?
We gotta add for real.
We're friends for real.
Gotta add a little lean in moment.
But no, seriously, I was in a kept situation where someone else was taking care of my financial needs and responsibilities, and they died. And like, not to get to, well, hell, it's grit and glam, so I
Oh,
might as well keep
go.
it real.
Take a little grit.
I've been delivered from, well, I'm not, like they were still legally married and taking care of me. So the person who name popped up on the paperwork came and redeemed all of their stuff. And my children and I were almost homeless. Like it was, like before it was cool and trending to live in a car. Like I was contemplating, like maybe I need to get a van or something. But I am so thankful that it didn't get that bad. But it definitely, that situation taught me, like, girl, like being cute and letting people write checks, and this may be a little too gritty. Look, the glam in me may be sliding into the grit side, but I had a client, because I'm a licensed life insurance producer now, but a client of mine was dating a man 40 years older than her, and sugar daddy situation.
Yep.
And she reached out to me to put a policy on him, and I was like, yo, I wish when I was your age in that situation that I would have been that savvy, because I just thought, like, it's gravy and I'm good and we're good and we got a house over here and this and all of that, but nothing was in my name. And that showed me that, baby girl, like all the cuteness, like the pretty mocha can only go so far. You gotta, put yourself in position that, like I'm a mother, like that I don't put us in situations that, like we could be on the street. So that definitely showed me that. And that's when I made my 20-year plan and became more financially empowered and started stacking and putting financial vehicles in position. So for me, I know I'm the glam, but I guess I had to take it to the streets for y'all. But that is, it's a true story and a true scenario that showed me that don't just let people give you things and you're not putting it in a protective position. You're not scaling it. You're not multiplying it, and they, and get stuff in your name. That taught me a lot.
Listen, and that doesn't have to be a salacious scenario to have that happen. I know too many friends that are current friends that ought to know better, who are married, who are completely dependent on their husband, who have no idea where the money is or what gets paid or how it gets paid or what bank accounts or any of that. And I've had these conversations. Listen, let's be honest. We know a lot of times men can pass before, then you're left with all the books. You don't know which way it is up, and you don't have any income coming in. So women, we all know you got to position yourself accordingly and protect yourselves, and also continue to teach our daughters that, it's great to have a partner, whoever that partner is, but you better CYA.
But have your own strategy as well. Yeah, yeah. And the beauty is, men respect that. Our partners respect,
sure,
if we're coming with like with a little something. And it's a peace of mind that where I was then, even if all hell broke loose today or tomorrow, I would not be as broken as I was then, because it was a level of embarrassment of what have you gotten yourself into that I really couldn't explain, like I didn't even have the words to say what I was going through. But even now, like I have assets, I have things that I could liquidate or things of that nature if I really needed to make a move. And sadly, when I realized I didn't know what the hell was going on with my money, is when I realized that I'm around a lot of money, but none of this money was actually mine. So yeah. And another question though, going from like a girlfriend situation, like when you're on a girls trip or out with your girls, how do y'all split up the check? Like a business bestie versus broke besties? Like how do things and we go out, so I know you know my take on this, but what's that like for you?
Well, okay, first let me say we don't stay around the broke mentality, first and foremost, right? Second, also my previous lives, I was I spent many hours waiting tables in the restaurant world. There's nothing more infuriating to me than when you go out with people and then someone pulls the bill out and it's like, oh, I only had one, like I had this, and now we're nitpicking. Now, if you've only had an apple, or like my girl, she doesn't drink, I drink. So, like
I don't even
we split
care.
bills, but I always
Here's
feel
my
bad.
card.
Well,
that's it for me. I know I don't drink. It doesn't matter. I'm paying for the experience.
Well,
here's my card.
I get that. But with that said, sometimes that can get excessive, right? If you're like with drinkers and then you're not. But it's never, those circumstances are never the ones where everybody's trying to help. It's always the people. There's always one person that's like, well, I didn't do that. And how much is my tax? I'm not doing that with you. We aren't having it. We split it down the middle, bring cash, get a separate check, do what you got to do. But we're not doing
I
this
would
at the
never
table.
go out with that one again.
Yeah, not a lick. Not
Never.
a lick. Not at this age. We're not 20.
Thank
25 or even 32. Like it moves different at this point. We're grown folks.
Thank you. So Grit and Glam agree that
yes.
all I need to know is what's the total. So I okay, we got 200. Here's my card. It's 4 of us. That'll be, $60 or so, $70 with tip, and I'm good. Other than that, on who had water or who
stop.
Girl. Thank you, right?
Stop.
All right, so we're moving into one of my favorite segments, and that is sip or say it, the Queendom Confession. So we got some rapid fire questions here. I'm ready if you are, friend.
That sounds salacious. I feel like we should sip.
All right,
Let's sipping. I'm getting
ready. Me.
Okay. So tell me this. What's something that you did in business that looked good on the outside, but was a hot mess behind the scenes?
Whew.
I know. I feel like this could be a long list for both of us. We got stories.
I'm going. I will say hosting events. Hosting events are like I love events. I do well with events. However, behind the scenes and getting it together, baby, it is often very messy. Like we were fighting and pulling, like caterers dropping out or whatever, and we got to call somebody, auntie, sister, baby mama, niece, nephew to please bring some dishes up here and run past the dollar store for some little, for little trinkets to make things work. But I would say hosting events, and I got one more too. I used to always do client gifts. So for every little holiday, St. Patrick's Day, 4th of July,
Valentine's, you used to do everything.
And we would take them to the client's door. It got to a point that I had about 200 or so clients. Messy. When I say one time I left my car, I thought it was about to roll down the hill because I'm like trying to leave the door open, run it out. I had my kids helping me who were like in middle school, high school at the time. Messy, baby, but it looked good.
You're right. Logistics can be a nightmare.
I got some great photo ops, but it was messy. We were making some of the gifts on the way to the people's house, but baby, we did what we needed to do.
Nobody knew the wiser.
Thank you. What about you? What looked good, but honey, it was really a hot mess.
Oh, I feel like for me, any of my social media or marketing, because listen, I have grandiose ideas. My head lives in the clouds, but you know me. Sometimes I get a little, I overthink a lot oftentimes, and then before I know it, I'm in chaos. So I would say oftentimes where I'm trying to come up with something, especially for marketing or for, the business side of things, it's not usually with my clients. I've kind of gotten that piece figured out. But anytime I have to do something outside of my comfort zone and there's logistics and oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
being a one woman show or maybe one with a help, somebody to kind of, how it is.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
rough. I need a
Okay.
production. I need a team.
You do.
I need a
You do.
team.
No, you need like a doppelganger or something that can get like certain views, and then
That would
you
be
just come
amazing.
in with the closing
That's
statement,
it.
like
I'm a
it's
closer.
the little things, Piccola Properties, and then it's like Face to
Exactly.
Black or something.
We're not
Okay,
just the
so our
neighbors.
next question.
Exactly. Go.
What would you take? $1 million deal if it meant losing your closest friend, or walk away and rebuild from scratch with her by your side?
Well, listen. Not all money is good money, people. Not all money is good money, and at what cost? I will take my relationships, because especially at this stage, if you are in my circle still, we'll ride or die to the end till the wheels come off. So I'm taking my ace with me every single time, and we will absolutely rebuild. We'll probably come up with a $2 million deal.
You ain't never lied. Now, I must say though, I agree. Walk away and rebuild with the friend, but I would be being dishonest if I didn't, because in my mind I'm thinking like, what happened? Could we resolve with $1 million? Like, could I buy her back? Like, if I took the $1 million deal and I'm like, yo, I got 150K for you, like we couldn't fix it. We couldn't, 250K. Like,
there's always another angle.
Work it out.
There's always another angle. There's always another angle.
Right. But I think that relationships, like, money comes and goes, especially when and you're not in a scarcity mindset. Like, making money is just that, making money. So I would definitely keep my ace by my side, but I still want to know, like, what do we have going on that $1 million couldn't, like.
We need more details.
Thank you. Right.
We need more details. We're not. I hear you on that. I got a good one for you, because patience is a virtue, right? But which has tested your patience more? A messy client, a messy man, or a messy toddler?
A messy client.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
no shade, but like, we keep it real here.
Yeah.
A messy man. I'm assuming this is someone I am in a relationship with. So he probably has other auxiliaries that could keep me preoccupied. So, okay, I might get a toddler, not so much. Like, I can deal with, I have a lot of patience, but a messy client, like I said on our previous episode, like, you are an angel when it comes to like figuring stuff out for clients. I am a very patient person, but I don't, me, mess, chaos, all that, like, like, just difficult for no reason. I'm good. Messy client all day. Gotta go.
Oh, see, give me a messy client. The toddler? Oh no. I was not built to be.
Give me the baby. You take my
facts. That we've done that before. I mean, men,
right?
Men are what they are.
You take
yeah, men are what they are. We love you, man. We are your biggest cheerleaders. I promise you that. You probably won't find 2 more solid females that will have your back. But the men, I'm not talking about.
Yeah, come on, messy man. Yeah,
but,
messy man, messy toddlers. Look, so I'll have the daycare and the man cave in my corner, and you deal with all the messy clients.
I got you on the client. I got you.
Okay, so if your ex wrote a Yelp review about you, as a businesswoman, what would it say? 5 stars or 1 stars? Like, and what do you think would be in the paragraph?
Oh God. Well, first, I'd have to know which ex we were talking about.
I guess whoever you say, whichever ex
so
you think.
I'm gonna go with the We'll go with
Most
whichever
recent?
one. Yeah, okay, we'll go with the most
Yeah,
recent.
most recent.
Oh, most recent. I think 5 stars. Um, he,
As
uh,
a businesswoman,
as a
not
business, he probably give me
okay.
4.5 stars.
Okay.
4.5 because he's Aquarius. They always come up. We always come up with something. But what I think he would say is, he would say very passionate, uh, always available. Oh gosh, that sounds questionable. But I feel like he would give me a pretty good review because we actually had many conversations about business. And I
Yeah,
actually did try to get him involved in real estate. And, had he stuck around, we probably could have built a whole nother empire
I
together. But
know,
I
right?
digress. But who knows?
Yeah.
And that's
No,
future
for
to come.
me the same. Ex, any ex.
Yeah.
I am they are very impressed and
Mhm.
love how I run my business. Like I often I've set up a mini business for
Yes.
people I've dated. So you're welcome. Like
Yes.
you're welcome. So I think that I would get 5 stars. Most of them, though, would put in the paragraph like, but too bad she didn't treat me like she treated her
Your
business.
business.
Yeah. Yeah, that would probably be
You
in
didn't
there.
pay me like the business did.
Thank you, right? I know, right? Like they 5 stars for sure on like
Yeah.
just how I am as a businesswoman. But if there were any comments, it would definitely be something about whatever happened in the relationship, probably.
Yeah. Business came first.
Yeah.
Womp, womp.
Yeah.
Guess that turned out to be right. That's why you're the ex.
I know, right?
Okay, I got one for you. All right. DMs for potential clients or potential situationships, right? Which one's messier?
Situationships. And I'm not with either we go together or we don't, baby. You're
Mm.
not playing with me. I have been booking boyfriends since 12 years old, baby. I'm not with no situationships. Like
That's right.
either we are in something or I'm good. Like, so yeah,
Mm.
that's too messy for me. I would rather, even though don't be too messy, but clients in the DM, heck, I'm DMing them. Like, so like, hey, I see you making moves over there. Let me know if you need any strategy to accompany that. So yeah, I'm okay with clients in the DM, but situationships, no, baby,
Mm.
it ain't no what they I can't even think of what they call it. What they call that mess? Sneaky link.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
No,
No
no,
thinkies.
not over here. How about you?
I'm suspect of all DMs, to be honest with you. Hey, listen, because let me say this. If you're a female and you've come through my DMs and we've done a little business, it'll move different. Anytime a male comes at me through any kind of DM, not to be, but let's be real.
No, but let's be
I don't,
real.
but that doesn't mean I won't sell you a house. So if you
Thank
really
you.
want to, I've done it on dating sites. I put in, I put in my bio, we may not match romantically, but we can always
Helaine,
figure out
that's how I
some
won
business.
Rookie of the Year. Our broker back then was like, Miss Brunson, this is amazing. All of these, like, hey, yeah, like one. Hold on, and hold on. This I cannot say their name, but you know exactly who I. One person who I ended up in a nice little relationship with. The prerequisite was, oh well, you got to
Oh,
buy a property. Like, and he bought he was like, oh yeah, you seem real serious and business oriented. What can I do to get your attention? Buy something over
yeah.
500,000. Yeah, and he loves that house though. Yeah, but I've been on a mini tour where they're like, oh, you like this bedroom? I'm like, I don't know why he asking me, but as long as he signed that paperwork, like, hey, yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's great natural light.
I know, right? Thank you, honey. What's a personal insecurity that shows up in your business life more than you'd like to admit?
Ooh,
Mm.
a personal insecurity.
I can help. Mine is rejection. I've got you will not you will not play me. Like if we got a few times to toggle back and forth on phone calls or emails or whatever. No, yeah, and you will not leave me on red. Like, yeah.
Maybe I should have one. You know what it is? I think anything that has to do with like my back office systems space, if you know, that kind of makes me feel like, did I do enough? Did I do it right? Did I, you know, I do, I don't want to say question myself, but I will overanalyze that space. But when it comes to client, business talking, there's not much that, and I like a challenge.
Yeah.
So I kind of get, I'm a little bit of a sadistic. I kind of enjoy
she does.
the twist and the turn.
That's why she's your DIY go-to. Like you want to fix her up, you want to flip. Yeah, she's all into that. Yeah.
How can I fix you?
Thank you. Real estate and in dating. Like
what? No, I have actually. I've hung up the fixing.
Yes.
Like no,
so we only flipping houses.
No, we're just flipping houses. I can help you with that.
That's what's up.
Yeah, that's all right. I have one for you.
Okay.
I find interesting. If you could legally scam one industry for 24 hours without consequences, what would it be and why?
I'm going where the money is. Now, first, let me disclaimer, not that it needs to be said, I'm not looking to scam any industry. Correct. But if in light of this question, I'm going straight to banking, financing. That I'm going where the money is. 24 hours. We about to run.
We live in DMV, so NSA would totally hypothetically talking right now. I just want to put that.
I know, right?
Because we got a lot of speakers in these.
Yeah, parts. I know, right?
I'm with you on that. The banking, absolutely.
Yeah, like
maybe IRS. I might go after the IRS.
But no, they I think they got a lot of accounts payable and nothing. I don't think they got money there though. Like I think they're owed a lot. Not You
want like an old school bank. I might go crypto then. Once you move a ton of stuff and then you got
definitely would be some type of financial something.
Of course.
Like we go into where the money is, you know,
Jewel
like
heist.
to call grandma, tell her she good. I'm not calling her with no Ponzi schemes or anything. She good. I'm going straight to the people who thank you, right? Yeah. Okay, so what's a grown and sexy moment that reminded you that you're not the same woman you were 5 years ago?
Let me tell you, there's probably quite you know what? I'm going to reel myself in. Ooh. The Cliff Notes version, patience. There has been many. We could just take 2025, which I realize we're only 3 months in, but it's been a crazy year for me personally. The fact that I didn't do some extreme things is how I know that I've learned patience. I'm all about meditation and namaste and working out. And all
meditation.
That. Yeah. So listen, I'll try anything to not ignite the fire in the belly of this dragon she's still in there.
Yeah.
Every once in a while you see a little smoke come out. But I have learned a lot just to sit still, as my therapist would say, swaha, just surrender.
Yeah. Mine would probably be like from a political, like not engaging into in conversations that I clearly see are already polarizing. Oftentimes I tend to have different views and opinions or broader, like I lean a little more to the right and
out of the assumption of what one might think.
Yes. Thank you for clearing that up.
Yeah.
So, but I used to, like try to defend or try to say, well, consider this. The hell with that. Think what y'all want. Like think what y'all want. I'm gonna keep cashing checks.
Right.
Y'all keep arguing over the things that whatever you want to have at it. So
I
would say is my grown and sexy moment.
Look at us. Look at the growth that we have because we're
I
two
know,
feisty
right?
women. Our feistiness is different,
Oh
but
yeah, but it's there.
it's there. It's a common
Yeah.
thread. It's a common thread. Well, let me ask you this. How about, okay, would you rather go viral for a business fail or a personal scandal, and why?
Scandal, baby. Scandal. We not losing in business. Scandal, baby, because scandal will bring more people, more
Salacious.
attraction to your business anyway.
That's right.
People,
People enjoy
baby.
that. They want to see that. I think I'm
Scandal.
with you. I don't
Thank
ever
you.
want you to think that I can fail you in business, because if I don't pay my father told me this years ago. Two things that, well, not two. I mean, he told me many things, but two things that always stick me with business. You shake a firm, your handshake. I have a vicious handshake because of my father. And also, if you don't pat yourself on the back, who will? So when it comes to business, I don't ever want you to think that I can fail you, because there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind closed doors. But my goal is that you never know about it, because I've
Gotcha.
fixed it before it can even come to your feet. But a little personal, like a little something, something, that's fine.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
mind
I'm
that at
okay with
all.
that. I'm okay with that. Okay, so the final question,
Uh,
what's one truth about Black women in business that people are scared to say out loud, but you're not? I got a good one.
that is a good one. Well, I feel like you ever have a sound just come on in your house, in your space, and it catches you off guard? Sorry, that just happened.
No,
In any event, I would say one truth about Black women in business. I think that people are intimidated oftentimes by the persona or the energy that can be brought to the table, or the assumption as to what's going to come with it, right? Or the perception is a better way. And perception's reality. And I'm here, like, I think it's important that we have a big voice. And if you can't handle that voice, I'm fine by making mine loud enough for all of us.
Yeah. Well, mine is,
I know you got something juicy.
I know, right? this year, and last year too, I guess since the recent presidential election, you've been hearing a lot of like Black women are falling back. We're just doing brunch. We don't call us for
92%.
Like we're falling back. And what I want to say is, about time y'all stop playing the mammy role. Like, you should have been relaxing and chilling. And now that you are, I would love to have a conversation about scaling and growth and all of those things. Now that you've stopped taking everybody else's burden, everybody else's problems, and solving them. So what I say, Black women, is kudos for you for taking off that mammy role and falling into your queendom. I've been waiting on y'all.
No, I think that's exactly right. It's exactly right, because we're always expected. Listen, we have Black daughters, right? We have beautiful, Black, intelligent, amazing daughters, and we've had to raise them as such, as to what they're walking into and what the circumstances are, and how you always have to, kind of lead a triple, triple triple smarter, triple stronger, triple all of that to fit in.
And that's a burden.
But
That's
why?
heavy.
Why are we
Yeah.
fitting in? Like, this is another reason we've started this conversation. We don't need everything else. We can create our own and feel strong in that, and feel the strength in numbers. And stop apologizing for taking up space. This is our space.
Yeah, that's what I said. Welcome.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Welcome. I think we're off to you for Diamonds in the Rough.
I love it. Diamonds in the Rough. So I want to, we love our business, right? We love what we do, and there's so many, beautiful things, blah, blah, blah. But you always have to find, the nitty-gritty pieces of the business. And we've talked about this previously as to my experiences. I love doing flips with my clients personally, and with on my own business, and then also with other clients as project management and that sort of thing. And the one thing that always pops up for me, that's always a constant concern, is budget, right? And then what happens when you bust that budget? I have unfortunately had to experience this multiple times, either be it through wholesale transactions, which is very different than when you're dealing with like a person to person or a business to business real estate transaction. And the money gets sticky. And I've had that happen too many times. And so now what has that changed for me? I approach my projects very differently. The conversations that I have with the client in terms of if I am going to PM their project, we have to have a very much clear and concise numbers, and that budget is what the budget is, and you always have to cushion it. So now I cushion all my projects anywhere from 18 to 23%, especially now with what we have going on with the economy, with the tariffs, with the we know construction is going to significantly go up, which is kind of putting a different strain or pressure on my smaller investors in the flip world. So, there's just, it's a moving target. It's a little different now, but one thing you won't catch me with is a short budget. I'm not doing that again.
Yeah. Yeah. And from a business strategy, as a financial strategist for entrepreneurs, I am always, I am sickened almost by how many do not know their numbers. Even as a baseline, from realtors to hairstylists to tech owners, you name it, construction company owners. I haven't found an industry yet where this isn't this, a common theme. But they don't even know what their business is worth. And to me, that is amazing. Like, I don't care what you do. If you have a business, you should know the business valuation. Because think about this. If I walked up to you, Helaine, and I said, for Piccolo Properties, I want to offer you $500,000. If you don't know what your business is worth, you don't know if I'm insulting you. You don't know if you've hit the lottery or anything in between. Yeah. So it is so, our businesses, just like real estate or anything, they are an asset. So, I really press knowing your numbers, understanding what, not just the business as a whole, but are there licensing opportunities within your business? Are there aspects of your business that you could sell a portion of that? All of that is money on the table that we should be considering. We should be very, you could get loans against that. Not to bring up your boy, but Elon, that's just what he did. He bought another company by leveraging the assets that were within a business. These people are not special. They just know how to leverage the tax code and certain aspects of it. So we've got to know our numbers, and knowing your numbers allows you to know what your asset can actually do for you. And like I said, if you're given an offer, you know whether I should take this hands down, or or how to, counter, offer a counter or whatever. But you've got to know your numbers, though. You've got to know your numbers.
Yeah. And also, I also want to piggyback on the one piece about, especially in our small business entrepreneur world, in the minority clientele, we know that oftentimes we're not exposed to the information or the education behind these loopholes and these movements that you can make. And Elon, he got Tesla by leveraging Twitter. Now it could be interesting. What did I just see? He's got the world record for the most amount of money lost in the shortest period of time. And let's talk about that. That could be very interesting, right? So if all of a sudden Tesla does go under, and now he's got to leverage Twitter, and he could lose Twitter. So the
point is, though, he's leveraging inanimate objects,
right?
He's leveraging something that
kind of invisible.
Thank you.
The concept of something.
Thank you. So however you feel about that, look, like I always say, CEO that thing. Look around, see how people leverage money, see how people scale their money and their assets, and mimic that. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Get out of my head, friend.
Oftentimes.
Thank you, right? Yeah. No, we definitely should not be reinventing the wheel.
No, I
Any
agree.
lessons that you learn the hard way that you use on a day-to-day now when it comes to money management or budgets, like you said? That's
I
funny.
think, well, because anytime you look at your bank account and it's screwed up, or the business bank account or the budget for a project, you get hit hard enough in the pocket, you will learn that lesson. It's like the baby that don't touch the stove. It's hot. It's hot. It's
Mhm.
hot. Well, now you got a burn on your hand.
Yeah.
Burn your pocket one too many times. If you're blessed enough to be able to come back or bounce back from that, thank God for that. But if you can't,
Yeah.
so I've that last lesson I learned, I think the last budget buster was I want to say it was 2020. I think we ended up selling that one project in September of 2020, and I haven't had another scenario like that, because that was too much,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
It is stressful.
you
I'll
implement new
say
stuff.
one of the I've got two things. One, just with my background in like corporate credit and things of that nature, like stack your funding. Like when I say multiple streams of revenue, I'm not just talking about different jobs or side hustles that you have. Apply for grants, baby. I won a couple last year. Like have your corporate credit cards available on multiple businesses. Like when I say I make sure that between credit, cash, grants, that any way that I can, like I have multiple streams of income or access to cash, right? Available. So that's number one. Never get caught, like I said, I don't know if it was this episode or in another episode, like where I got caught, in a situation where everything all hell broke loose and I was dependent on someone else, and I couldn't make a move. I literally couldn't make a move. And it takes time to rebuild your credit or rebuild wealth or move money around. It takes time for that. So that's one thing I'll say is have some pockets and pools of money, credit, grants, you name it. Have some stuff sitting in corners that you can pull together, and do some creative financing whenever needed. The other thing is partnerships. Stop taking on all these projects, and that goes for real estate, business ownership, partner with people. If you're getting an investment property that you're probably going to make an Airbnb, partner with somebody. If you're buying a commercial building and partner. You do not have to take all of the financial risk alone. And oftentimes you look more attractive to lenders and things of that nature, at least in the commercial space. I know when you come together with as a joint venture, you look stronger. Even on grant applications, bid applications, joint ventures look stronger than someone just going it alone, like a rogue one-man show. So partnership and making sure that I am stacking funding every way that I can. That is what has allowed me to reposition money and financing.
Well, you can't be a master of everything, right? You got to be able to delegate stuff. You got to know, as you always say, you got to know what your superpower is, and stay in that lane, and then leverage other people around you that can, make sure that they can, get the stuff that maybe you're not that great at, and that's okay. We're only human. Can't do it all. Can't do it all.
Okay, velvet gloves. How do you, and these are questions from individuals who follow us or from our database. For you, Helaine, how do I price a property or service I'm selling?
Well, so I'm going to say in my space, right? My residential space. And I guess, even in terms of pricing my services as your real estate professional, because it comes in different opportunities. But, I think that numbers never lie when we're talking about properties, it's pretty simple because we do a comparative analysis about what is the most recent sales that have sold in terms of the specific comparables to your property. Those numbers are those numbers. Sometimes people don't like the numbers. It doesn't change anything.
It doesn't change them.
Like, I'm sorry you feel that way.
Yeah.
But again, the feelings are just feelings, and we're going to work through them. And in here again is just, I try to keep things as clear and concise as possible. You may not like what I have to tell you. You may not be happy with what I have to tell you. I'm going to tell you what the numbers are, and then we'll come to an agreement of where to start. Sometimes, we find a happy medium and test the waters. But I think that sometimes that can bite you in the, if you don't really have everything together, and now you've lost like that thrill of the hunt. There's blood in the water now, and now you've got time on your hands, and people see that. Now all of a sudden you thought house was worth something higher, and now we're cutting the numbers, and it just doesn't translate the same.
Yeah. Look at our friend. We're wrapping up. Now, one more question. What's the best way to manage cash flow while scaling?
I'm going to have you jump off that. Just start with that. Just so I get this little crazy in line.
No worries. Look, this is real life. Like I said, we friends for real. This is real life. But one thing I will say in terms of managing cash flow goes back to one of the points I made before, is to have different buckets as well too. And like how Helaine mentioned about your budget, knowing your budget, being true to that budget, and having a buffer. I love how you said that you already have like a built-in 18 to 23%, so that, if things change, because things can change quickly, we've already kind of factored that in. So exactly. So cash flow is so important. I honestly believe people should take a cash flow class, because I think people say it, but they don't truly understand cash flow, be it for a rental property or for a business. People really, they at least in my experience, when you get into like when we're putting pen to paper and we got to write the budget and write the, people really don't often realize, like, no, just because you got 100,000 and you spend 70, and that like your return is not going to be 50,000, right. Yeah. So I think that people really need to conceptually better understand cash flow.
Well, so my previous life, I went to school. One of my degrees is in interior design, and one of the classes I had to take was design and business. And my professor, he would always say, he's like, 75% of businesses fail, real design businesses fail, because you don't know how to run a back office. And you can have all the best, furniture or designs or concepts or whatever.
People.
Yeah, you got contractors, all of it. But if you let the books go, and books are not for everybody. There's reasons that there's accountants and bookkeepers and and programs
and financial strategists.
And financial strategists. Listen, it's not, I love numbers, but I don't like books. It's not my strong suit. You got to know where what you're good at and what you aren't, and what you aren't good at. Please get help, because it can destroy your business. Or
it will.
Not being dramatic, it can destroy your business.
No, and, it will.
Yeah. No, so I completely agree with you. You got to be able to scale your cash, your cash flow correctly.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Well, this has been another dynamic episode. Thank you so much for being a part of this queendom. We are going to close it out with drum roll, please.
We'll get better with the extras.
I know, right? The Queen's Decree.
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am.
Sis, glam doesn't cover gaps. Know your margins, know your mission, and stop letting vibes write your business plan. Honey,
I know that's right.
You heard it here first. Oh, well, I am Quintaria, and that is my good friend, Helaine. We are making moves here in the DMV. Be sure to like, follow, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Book some consultations and all that so that we can put our skill set to good use. And until next time, we'll see you another day in the queendom.